Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back! Where last we left off, our party had found themselves travelling with a new companion who happened to be the cousin of June, known as Ira. They also made their way to Resonance after a bit of a scuffle with the law, which they managed to narrowly avoid, and learned some more information for Val about which leads to follow, where to go in particular, as well as a bit more about spectral beings in the Veil and what Wulfric meant when he referred to Ichabod as a
Stop it.
Sorry.
Veil Watcher. Can people say that? They could.
Yeah, they
That's
can.
embarrassing.
That's what I'm doing it for the people. I'm doing it for the
It's
people.
slightly
Yeah,
blurry,
yeah.
that's why I'm dabbing. They
Dabbing
can't
for the
see me,
veil
I've been
watchers,
censored
right,
by
yeah.
the
Anyway,
CCP.
Yes, anyway.
Do you want me to move it?
No, drip.
Oh.
Okay. You guys are standing currently out of Resonance. Two of you have left with some carrion cards, which are essentially the equivalent of tarot cards within this world. What would you guys like to do? You had plans to go to the Underarchive, I believe?
The Underarchive.
Yes.
Okay. I forget, could somebody remind me, have you guys been pointed there before?
Yeah,
I think we know that it's at the back.
we know it's at the
Sure.
back. I think a general guide just like said, oh, it's this way.
Sure, okay. I'll still get you guys to roll an investigation check for me, but this time with advantage.
A9 will do it.
Yeah,
because,
A9 will
because
do it.
A9 hasn't done anything.
I don't give A9.
A9 has been like looking.
Fucking freeloader.
James, you've been so quiet this session.
And then A9 will also get a guidance spell.
And A9 will also get a guidance spell. Holy shit.
Doing what clerics do, just giving everyone D4s.
You're blessed. Have a d4.
19,
Jesus.
26, 29.
29? Yeah, you guys easily recall where the Underarchive was, and it's actually not that hard to see. It's a massive ornate building. As you guys head up, a lot of these kind of meandering branching paths that form the alleyways and the subsections of the inner works all seem to come to a point at the medial coinery, and then some longer thoroughfares stretch out from there. And down one of those longer thoroughfares, you head towards where you think the back of the inner works tier might be, and you stumble upon the visage of what almost appears to be a small castle in white stone with sky blue domed ceilings and massive expanse of floor-to-ceiling windows that stretch across the front of a central keep. There are several towers that curve upwards, almost twist together at the top underneath these domed ceilings on each of the corners, and it's kind of pressed right up against the back wall. The doors appear to be open, and they appear to be carved from marble. They beckon you in if you would like to go.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably closer to 6 at this point, after you guys had walked to Resonance, had a chat to Ichabod. So you guys are heading up towards the Underarchive.
On the way, while we're walking, I would like to pull Nadria back just a little bit and be like, hey, so, Rombellium, I definitely don't want to go there, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really big city.
Yeah.
It's lots of people. It's really
Yeah,
busy
I mean, but
Yeah.
okay, like obviously I don't want to pry, but I just noticed that also you said Canaan. Like, did you say you're from there?
there. Yeah.
Well, it's funny how alike we are sometimes without even knowing it. I don't want to go back home, and you don't want to go back home, but you're on the run from your family too.
Not exactly.
I mean, I'm a literal runaway. I could go home, but I think my parents wouldn't like that. I don't know. Like,
Okay, well, I can't.
you kind of.
No.
Mommy and Daddy wouldn't be
What do you
too
mean?
happy. My mom and dad would say no!
They would. Mommy and Daddy would not be proud of their little boy.
You may as well just call them Mummy and Daddy now.
Mommy and Daddy. Well,
Mommy and
I mean, did something bad happen?
Obviously.
I mean,
I told you that they were mistakes I needed to fix. Why would I be able to?
and they happened at home.
Yes. That's why I'm not at my home.
Mm.
I thought that was kind of obvious.
I know, but I don't know.
Altogether.
It's just I don't know. I know. It's just like I just noticed like a funny and weird similarity, and obviously we won't go there because we don't want to go back there. But if you need help with anything,
Yeah, you said that before. As
I
well.
know. I'm just letting you know. But like, why don't you? But like, why not Rumbellion?
It's a big city. When I left home, the Grimlassian Legion's there, isn't it?
Yeah,
Authority's kind of bad.
Yeah, but Canaan and Rumbellion aren't exactly super close.
Yeah, well, how did you get there? Did you just run to?
No.
Did you go to Rumbellion?
I got kind of sent there,
Oh,
not by choice.
oh.
Had an argument with my parents, and they said, "Well, if you're not gonna fall in line here, you're gonna fall in line. You're definitely gonna fall in line there."
Okay.
And fell in line for a little bit, and then didn't want to do it anymore, so I ran.
Okay.
Never looked back.
I honestly don't know how I ended up in Rebellion. I just kind of ended up there after leaving home. Went on travels, tried to find somewhere to go.
I wonder. You reckon it would? Oh my! You don't ever do your changing thing ever, right? I remember you saying something like that.
No.
Good. How crazy do you reckon it would have been if we accidentally ran into each other?
In Rebellion?
Yeah,
It's a big city.
it is a big city.
Lots of people. I don't think that's happened.
Kyrgios is running through his memories if we've ever saw Naudra before. No, definitely not. Okay,
Big city.
very big city. I mean, the pirate thing seems really cool. I want to help out Val, but how the fuck are we gonna get there if we can't go to your hometown or we can't go back to the capital?
My plan is working. Give me pirates, bitch.
Yeah, give me pirates, but god damn it.
We're either gonna have to suck it up or find the long way around, like Ichabod mentioned.
Look, if we I don't want to get arrested for what's the thing you call when you abandon your post?
Desertion.
Desertion. I don't want to get locked up for desertion, or worse, get sent back home to face the wrath of my dad. So, and yes, that's worse.
Uh-huh.
So,
So you're saying the better option is to go to Canaan?
we can maybe just run through it.
Yeah.
Speedrun.
Straight to the port, just spreading down the main street. Was that Nadia?
No, stop, shut up! You don't know who I am.
Just
There's no port in Tuttles, is there?
No.
No. Okay, I thought so. Okay.
Tuttles is further inland.
It is further.
I don't think you can just run through a town going on.
What if a few of us stay outside the city, a few of us go in, secure a ship, and then we bring it around, and you guys hop on. And I'll just be discussing and rambling now as well.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. You guys all head up to the doorways of the Underarchive. And as you step in, you feel the air kind of settle around you. Everything is very, very quiet here, and you can hear the sound of your shoes kind of scuffing against what appears to be marble, with an inlay of crystal that swirls in the center. It's a sigil that most of you haven't seen before, though you do kind of recognize it as being a symbol of Azanitas, the goddess of wisdom, curiosity. And everything in here is grandiose. The ceilings are probably about 200 feet high. The tops of the domes outside just brushed the top of the tier itself that's been carved out, and you can definitely feel that within this space here. The central point appears to have some sort of glass chandelier that kind of stretches down from one of these domes that are created from the same precious blue stones that are inlaid into the floor of the inner works. There are two what appear to be glass doors, sets of double doors, on either side of a bench top that is marble and seems to rise out of the floor and curve over almost like a wave.
That was menacing.
That's the sound it makes when Kruger trips.
Accurate.
Nine.
NA9.
A9 would never trip.
Yeah, true. Ow, shit!
A9 just goes through the floor. Yeah. The bench top itself seems to curve over like a wave. It's kind of organic and rippled in places. It seems as if it's designed to feel like it's another part of the floor that's just kind of risen up. You also notice some of the same crystals that had created the God's Forge within that sigil, as well as on the top of this dome. They're kind of inlaid in straps, and at the tops of these glass doors on either side. You can just kind of catch the glimpse of several different shelves that appear to be kind of lined up, stacked high with books. They kind of soar past the tops of these doors that are probably about 100 feet high. So you gather that these are very, very tall bookshelves, and there's a lot of information kind of packed into them. At the desk, you can see that there is a lithe, gangly figure that's hunched over with a sleek black head ponytail that's just kind of visible from their bowed head. They appear to be dressed in similar vestments as those that you'd noticed on Jade Vikitric when you guys had met her in Tollin.
Mm-hmm.
The same ivory and gold can be seen, though these ones appear to be accents. The majority of the robe that this figure is wearing appears to be a mossy kind of green. A little bit lighter than the forest greens that you guys had seen on other cloaks. And seems to be it's not super high-end, but it is nicely done. It's not beggar's clothing by any means. It seems like effort and thought was put into this, and it's maintained pristinely. The figure themselves, at this wave of a desk, kind of appears to be copying information from a large tome with a colourful feather quill in hand and a pot of ink that they dip their quill into and then kind of scratch onto loose pieces of parchment, their head kind of swiveling from one point to another. They seem to be focused on their work, don't seem to pay you any mind at the moment. The doors on either side appear to be closed. They don't appear to be open for you guys to just head through.
Is there like a little bell or something to like ding to get their attention, or no?
You can walk up to the desk if you like.
Can someone give me a boost?
What?
I'll do
Sure.
it.
Oh, tag team.
Yeah, 1 foot at a
You
time.
guys both roll a strength check for me, or one of you can roll with advantage.
Would you like to roll with advantage?
No, you can roll with advantage.
I think you want to roll with advantage.
You got to
Okay,
do this.
what do I do?
So roll the d20
Negative
and
one.
then take the high number. And then
So I roll 2d20.
yeah, so roll two d20, take the highest, and then just a strength check.
Yeah.
Cool.
Obviously that
So
one.
12 plus 4.
Even
Oh,
better.
16.
16? Sure. I'll say with the help of June, that's enough to kind of hoist Kruger up to put his arms kind of onto this marble desk. It's relatively cool to the touch, but it gradually kind of heats under your hands. And you watch the figure look up at you.
Hello.
They appear to have a kind of shimmery grey skin. It appears to kind of waft gently as they move around. Their hair at the ends, now that you're closer, you can see it kind of seems to float of its own accord. Kind of looks towards you.
How do I get my hair like that? That's cool.
This is a sort of ability of mine. What can I help you with?
Hi, we're the Named. We're here to just do a bit of research on a few different topics, if that's all right.
Very well. I will see if there is a particular individuals that may supervise you? You are all meaning to investigate?
Yeah, all of us. Yeah.
I heard there was a Temple of Luron somewhere on the premises.
A small temple, I suppose. If you are looking for a bigger one, it would be probably several buildings that way.
Oh, it's nearby. Okay.
Nearby, not necessarily on the premises, but some of our archivists do worship. Are any of you affiliated with the Inquisition?
Not entirely, but we're well acquainted with what was her name, Jade.
Vikitric.
But we're well acquainted with Jade Vikitric. We met her back in Tallinn.
And Jade was friends with you?
Me and my other friend, I point to Dilbert down. Well, we got acquainted with them over a couple of cups of ale and trading stories and adventures, and they mentioned that they're part of the Inquisition, and that you guys are well renowned for collecting and distributing vast amounts of information. We thought, well, we need to know a few things, and we're on our...
The same Jade Verkitrix that works here.
Yeah.
Interesting.
She's a badass.
Some might say.
Would you say that we have any scars?
I think my nose. I think there's a messed up scar on my nose. I would say because she busted it a few times.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Would I have a scar that I could just be like,
Yeah, sure, if you want to.
like, see this? That was from them.
Yeah, she kicked our ass.
I'm not surprised.
That
She
point to
is
my
a
nose is just kind of like.
silly individual.
Mm.
Very well. Was she expecting you?
Probably not.
Probably not at this moment. No. If I'm being honest.
Well, depending on what works you're looking for, what you are trying to investigate, I could see if she is available to take you to certain aspects of our archives that are perhaps off limits to the public.
That would be greatly appreciated.
Very well. What are you intending to investigate?
Who wants to go first, or is me?
Do you have anything on Maiar?
I have plenty on my arm. What are you looking for?
General history? I guess.
Very well. That will not be restricted.
I know. I was just
term.
wondering.
Anything else anybody's looking for?
I am looking at planar transportation and travel, mainly focusing on instances where planar beings were taken from their home plane and dragged here.
I'm looking for, kind of just like whisperedly. I'm looking for any information, tales, stories about the Wanderer, and anything on Corsigs.
Very well. I will see what I can do.
I'm looking for information on ruins that might be nearby here.
On
Ruins that might be nearby here at all. Specifically near the overhang area.
okay.
Okay.
I will look.
I'm looking for, I guess, any books you might have on archaeology, specifically on, I guess, ancient creatures.
Very well, it can be done. And kind of closes the book with a snap and kind of puts it under the desk. And you watch as their hands move in a kind of complicated pattern for a moment. And they don't speak aloud, but you can see that their eyes appear to glaze over slightly and they're communicating with somebody over a distance. Well, it seems as if your friend is not currently in the vicinity,
No. Shame.
but she is expected back soon.
Within.
For
Soon
now, I
as soon
cannot
as in
take
like
you.
an hour or a day.
Mm.
I believe she told you that she wasn't going to be back in
Yeah.
Ramadan for, I think it was a week or
Yeah.
maybe more, something
And how long
similar.
did it took us? What, a few days, 4 days
Mm.
to get,
Yeah.
4 or 5 days to get here.
Yeah, so you still have a couple of days, I think.
Yeah,
I'd have
like,
to go
yeah,
back
like a
and
day or two.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look
she
at my
came back.
notes.
Yeah, wanted to come back from the more restricted stuff. That's fine.
Very well. I will go and see if there's an individual that can supervise you.
Thank you very much.
Kind of heads off. Seems relatively disinterested in just life in general at the moment.
Okay, you can put me down now.
Oh, I didn't know I was still holding you.
Ping! Kind of
Oh,
hit
shit!
the desk. They come back about 5 minutes
I
later
wish we were
with
doing that.
an individual dressed in.
my horns. I'm so
Sorry.
sorry.
Continue.
Okay.
That's
An
100%
individual
okay.
dressed in similar moss green clothing, though this one, the robes appear to have just a simple ivory lining. They appear to head up towards you all. Alright, well, how can I help you?
Busby?
these voices.
Is this Busby? Busby incarnate?
Do you have any books on planar? I don't know how to phrase it. Do you just have a section on planar magic that I can peruse?
It depends on specifically what you're looking for, but we do have a section on planar. And then he kind of thinks for a second and heads over to a random shelf. Do you guys follow him?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Sure. For you specifically, I'll get you to roll an investigation check for me.
Do I get any benefits from my sage background, which is the research feature? When you attempt to learn or recall a piece of law, if you do not know that information, you often know where and from whom you can obtain it. Usually this information comes from a library, scriptorium, university, or a sage, or other learned person or creature. So would I know any scholars that might know about that kind of stuff?
It's hard because you're not necessarily from the material plane, so you wouldn't know specifically any of the mages that would. Let me see. Actually, I might have.
Pulling out the background features.
You can roll with advantage anyway because he will be helping you.
Oh crap! Would I not have
Where is my
would I not have
guidance?
wanted anything? Arkanoid study.
Arcanoid, so I can do that as well.
That's not a nice roll.
That's what. And I would like to probably go study more about it.
This isn't a nice roll at all. That's an 8.
Beautiful.
I mean, it's better than the other one, which is a 1.
God.
Top
Aye,
rolls
aye,
tonight. Top trash.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Sacré bleu!
Sacré bleu.
This
You are
is
bad
not
at
weak.
rolling!
Sacré bleu. Sacré
Chocolate
gris.
beer
Sacré
and
ivory. Sacré.
Sacré bleu!
Sacré pink.
Shut up.
Sacré.
And blood.
pepper.
I'll say with an 8, unfortunately,
Sacré.
there's so much information about planar structure that you get a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of knowledge that is kind of being forced upon you as you read through these massive tomes. There is an entire section dedicated to planar structure, to transport, to extraplanar beings, to even phenomenon such as the branching, so to speak. But for the most part, you just get a general overview, I'd say, of the various planes within Cathora, which I can get for you. Give me a moment.
Wonderful.
At least you got something.
Anyway, I imagine Apple's going to be
Oh,
buffing
no.
these books for a bit.
All of my notes are all over the place.
No, not all.
Oh no.
That is not very good.
Nasty
Not we.
shit!
Not basin.
I do have too many notes. I need an organization system. I'm just kind of like
That's what the wiki is.
the wiki
The
down.
wiki's dead at the moment.
The wiki's dead.
The
Thanks,
wiki
James.
is
I'm just kidding.
Fuck your
James.
fucking
Get
daddy
back,
you
away.
to
come back to
go
Victoria so
away.
you can fix it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
sent him a
God
message.
damn it.
He's coming.
Got his
He's
way.
genuinely on his way.
Oh, he's actually way.
He's genuinely on his way, and if he's awake enough, as he gets off his plane, he's gonna flick it on and off and make it work again.
Oh, so he's
No
coming home
way.
tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We need
right.
IT support.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was in WA for another week.
No.
No.
Okay.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh fuck. I'm fucking shit.
Oh, fuck. Shit.
Fucking shit. Alright, I'll say with an 8, you learn that the material plane, during the phenomenon of the branching, where various different planes were created either as appeasing certain titans and certain gods and things like that, or as demi-planes to trap particular entities, like the Nameless Few within them. You do learn that Cthulhu was actually formed from the 4 elemental planes. And the shaping of this planet occurred at the point where they all converged and where it was thinnest. And from that, they created the material plane. And that is surrounded by the veil, which you guys have just learnt a little bit about from Ichabod. It's essentially, that particular plane is called the Umbranum, or the Invertio. The Umbranum also encompasses the Malayor as a plane, which is essentially, for everybody who knows the lore, essentially that takes the place of the Shadowfell, so to speak. And then from there you go down to hell, basically. So there's a kind of trickle-down effect where those two are merged a little bit. You also learn the Fey Realm, which I will find the name of. God damn it. Give me a second. It's in here somewhere. Give me a moment, everyone. My apologies.
Hello.
And
Have you done your B-roll today?
I have done my B-roll today.
Indeed.
I did it on the train.
God damn it. You broke my trust again,
Real
man.
issue. Why weren't you on the train with me?
Because what time were you on the train?
4:30.
No, I was napping, Doc.
It takes me 2 hours to get here again.
You should get a car.
I can get one. I just need a license to drive.
You should get one of those as well.
I will in.
That's a really useful
What month
thing
is
to
it?
have.
June. What number is June? 5.
We're
7
in
months.
6. We're about to get this the
Okay.
month number 7.
In 7 months, I will have
Alright.
a car
Guaranteed.
Yay.
and a license.
The name is the Orborea. It was in here somewhere, everyone. My
You found
apologies.
it.
Thank you for bearing with me. And then surrounding those, you have the 4 elemental planes. I can draw you guys a diagram, though.
Yes, please.
I shall. And then I'll
Thank
give you
you.
the rest of the names then.
Thank you.
But yeah, with an 8, unfortunately, you don't get too in-depth about it, but you do learn a little bit more about the branching and how Cthulhu was created from those planes. Okay, who wants to go next?
Sure.
My user.
Oh,
You can go.
Oh. I mean, mine shouldn't be
Roll
too
off.
crazy.
Roll off.
I
for it.
reckon I should go.
Oh,
guys.
do you want to roll?
Yeah, roll off.
Let's
for it.
roll.
Fine as well for
Let's
it.
roll.
Let's
Let's
go.
Highest number
I'll
goes
do-
first.
13.
11. You win.
Damn.
Damn.
What am I after?
Burns.
The bones.
Boning.
Yeah, I guess I'm just looking for potentially any books, I guess, that might contain information about creatures I don't know of, perhaps. But
What kind of creatures are you looking for specifically? Like, there's a lot. All
particularly
different kinds
focus
and
on
stuff.
ones that are like ancient or
like
extinct.
creepy stuff, or like folklore stuff, or like
What's fake?
just like tales that
Like
people
fairy tales
pass
and
down.
stuff.
Yeah, fairy tales.
Oh, what was the first option?
Like creepy stuff.
Why be mutually exclusive?
Not so
Look
much
at me, you
folklore.
fucking asshole. How dare you?
I'm after the information on creatures that we definitely know exist.
Okay. I'd say just a straight roll for you because it's kind of vague.
It is
So we'll see how it goes.
10.
A 10. There are lots of different kinds of creatures within Cthulhu. Most of them, there appears to be occurrences of all different kinds of creatures. Like, I'd say, looking specific, like, are you looking for a specific type of creature? Like, are you looking for elementals, fae? Are you looking for dragons, giants? Do you want to look a little bit more into the creatures that might have been on the island that he told you about, Ichabod?
Actually,
Cabo?
yeah, that could, yeah.
We could do that
We
with a
do.
10.
Yeah.
I'll say you learn that there initially was a creature known as a Vorthic, which is kind of an ancient serpentine creature that was famed for its gargantuan size, its multiple heads and wings. And it used to inhabit... Not the same one you're thinking of.
Oh, thank
Don't
God.
worry, that'll come later.
Oh, fuck you anyway.
Hydra.
No, something. Oh, yeah, that's also bad.
Scary.
No, I introduced Holly to the Dragon Hydra. I bet.
Voice break. Really took me out. Okay,
Sorry.
you know that the Vorthic is said to be the original. There's a temple within Ukabo which is said to be dedicated originally to the Vorthic. However, it is now the resting place for the Vorthic as an ancient beast that, I'd say with a 10 you probably can't find much more about. Had originally slain this creature, and now the nearby villages within this island that were dedicated to the Vorthic now dedicate themselves to the creature that rules the Temple of the Two Tails. And that's probably all you would get with a 10, I'd say.
Something to look further into.
Yeah, a little bit. Who wants to go next? Dilbert, what's up?
What do you want to do?
I would like to look for books on my art.
Right. What
You know-
kind of stuff you looking for? Like,
Well, actually, I want to know, is there like a thing with hammers about my art? Specific hammers?
I mean, he's a forge god, but I can look, I guess.
Yeah, that would be great.
Sure. Roll an investigation check with advantage.
I'm gonna use my other one
What was that,
because
sorry?
that
I was gonna try and offer the help
sucked
action,
balls.
but
Oh,
it's
sorry,
already
the
got
attendant
advantage.
is already
Yeah.
helping.
What investigation?
Yeah.
7.
Shitty rolls, everyone.
Shitty,
You're doing very
shitty.
bad.
Look, honestly, I went
Yeah.
specific, but I'd be happy with a book on general history.
I'll say with a 7, not enough to get a fully detailed history of Maya. Generally, there are several hammers that are associated with Maya. He is often sometimes called the Hammer of Fury as well. And he's often depicted in
I read
battle.
that and I'm like, that's sick.
He's often depicted in battle with a massive warhammer that appears to be like made out of the same jagged crystals that you'd seen within the God's Forge.
Cool.
Most of the time, people will carve intricate hammers and things like that for offerings to him.
Yeah.
And it's often seen that he is depicted with the hammer as a tool and a weapon.
Would there be anything on followers of Maya?
Not too much. I mean, you get a little bit of information about Maya as being born from the elemental plane of fire, and where it converged with the creation of Cthora's material plane. Generally, most of the initial followers that were not created by Maya did actually hail from the plane of fire as well. So there's quite an emphasis on fire, which is now his domain.
So there's no like notable recent heroes?
Are you looking specifically for folklore
Kind of,
heroes?
yeah, I suppose.
Okay. And you rolled a 7?
Yeah.
That's
I did indeed roll a 7,
Oh no.
which is so bad.
What is your shitty rolls tonight,
So
fam?
bad.
Shitty rolls, you're so
Rolls.
bad.
I mean, A9 had a good roll.
Shitty fails.
A9 got good
Because he is
investigation.
not here.
No, James are normally not.
I will say one of the most prominent followers of Maya in recent histories. You see constantly referenced to is Zigherd, the Dawn Ripper.
The Dawn Ripper. I will take note of that actually. What's the spelling?
Zyghurd. Zigherd.
The Dawn Ripper, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Sick, dude.
Sick, bro.
And is there anything in terms of stories specifically?
There are plenty of stories, but that'd be a different thing that you'd be researching.
Oh, okay.
If you're specifically following...
Can I follow that kind of trail a little bit further?
Sure.
Or-
I'll circle back to it though.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Everybody else rolls for what they'd like to do. Anybody else want to look for anything in particular?
I got A9, you, and Kruger.
Yeah, we have 3 more.
Who wants to go first?
Well, maybe A9's just because I imagine that would be maybe somewhat quick, or do I want to wait for James or something like that? I don't know. I'm kind of just piloting him.
I don't know.
What do
It's
you want
your
to leave
decision. Don't make the decision, not me.
Alright.
That's
What's the decision?
I feel like A9 would be curious about like learning more about Arkanoids if that's an option.
I can always tell James which bit of the session to look at so that he can see it himself.
Yeah.
Cool. Then A9. We'll go A9. Yeah, just general history and
Sure.
lore about Arkanoids, and maybe if he can maybe glean something about themselves.
Investigation with advantage.
Ooh, you gave the big boy advantage with his plus what 7?
Yeah.
He's a smart boy.
Jeez, he doesn't need that.
26
Okay.
for the robot.
So
The
he wins.
26, I mean, James isn't here. I did already pass through a document to him. Would you guys like me to read out some of the stuff I've got here for Arkanoids? Or do you want to save it for when James is here? Up to you.
Save it.
Yeah, we could save it.
Save it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I will make a note of that and then I'll pass that on for the next
Lovely.
session. We'll do it at the start.
Beautiful. You go, then Kruger
Me
will go.
first?
Yeah, you go, then Kruger will go.
Okay. I want to look for any information about temples, known temples that might be around here.
Okay.
I heard that there was one where Saul shackled the member of the Ministry.
Where? Oh, Soul Trap. Alright, guess I can have a look. That's kind of leaning into, like the, forbidden knowledge for people that aren't part of the Inquisition. Because it's kind of dangerous to, just be pointing out, like, runes and stuff. So,
The closest that you can get me to is fine. I understand that there is some knowledge that I can't access.
Okay. Roll an investigation check for me, please.
Can you
At
guide me?
advantage because he is helping.
I want the purple one.
Go for it.
Get a guidance yourself?
No.
Okay.
Respect.
I can do it.
Okay.
I can't do it.
Yo!
7.
2 4s.
Silly.
2
I
4s.
don't think a guidance would have helped anyway.
Could have gotten maybe
Guidance
above
can't
10.
save this.
Could have gotten
man.
above 10.
Guidance can't help.
Guys, our rolls. No.
Yeah, really bad.
Yeah,
It's okay, you can always come back. It's fine. Okay, I will say that
Another day, maybe.
he brings you back a book about temples.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, dude.
It's not specifically what you asked for. But this is the closest I could find. It's like about temples and stuff, and like there's a ruined one like nearby and stuff.
Temple run.
So, here you go, and he kind of passes it over to you.
Thank you.
And there are several temples that you catch knowledge of, and kind of pique your interest a little bit. There are several within the Crownwell Wilderness, several that are within the various jungles that are kind of spread out within Cathora, particularly in the Lumen Jungle. You also see mention of Ukabo as having a particularly interesting temple there as well. There's also some on the Luronian Isles. And so you also, you got a 7.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, okay. You see that there is talk of a temple under the waves known as Ibadona. But you're kind of skipping past them all.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that you're probably the most interested in is the closest known as the Temple of Eklios.
We've already been there, guys.
Have you?
Refresh my mind.
Have we? Eklios. I remember hearing that name before.
Is that,
Eklios is a god. Sorry, perhaps.
is that something the pirate crew did?
Ibadona is
Ibadona.
something you guys did as the pirate crew. Yep.
I'll search my notes and see.
Yeah. You seem to know what that means. Why do you know that?
I don't know. I pick up on keywords, that's all.
Eklios.
I remember that. Okay.
Sure. Essentially, there's a lot of information that's kind of boring at first. Speaks of how Eklios, this temple was erected when...
Sorry. I didn't say anything. I'm sorry.
No, I just saw it happen. I just saw the reaction.
What did you do?
She's erected and I smile.
It was created when Wyladium was once called, in its earliest time, Orthilda,
Tilda.
by its first mortal inhabitants.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Listen, tunnels.
Um,
No, fuck that shit, dog.
It was essentially created as an ode to her final resting place when she was separated from her body by Ondysea, at the point where the arcane web was once the thinnest, and that let through various entities which Eklios was sworn to defend. Sworn to kill so that she could defend the mortal inhabitants. Sorry, my brain skipped things.
Mine does it all the time. It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's crazy.
Feels.
But she, when she was separated from her body and struck down by Ondysea, she was left to hang in the liminal space between the veils.
Oh.
She's chilling?
I don't think she's chilling with that.
She's chilling?
But with a 7, I'll say you don't unfortunately get too much more information about where it's specifically located. It's just in the general vicinity of the Dawnvale.
Okay.
That's gonna be
Yep,
fun
we'll-
to find.
I mean,
We'll find it. Maybe not that one.
yeah, maybe it's a fun.
Maybe not that one. We'll find your thing, not the other thing.
Oh, it's okay. We don't need to. Thank you.
No worries.
Then Kruger would want to research a couple of things. The Wanderer, any other myths and any other myths and folklore tales and legends that we kind of don't know about, anything that might strike interest, and Corsics, and other notable wielders, what it means to wield one, other than what your greaser has told him, just stuff like that.
Okay, sure. Roll. I'll get you to roll 2 investigation checks for me.
Okay.
The first one you were looking for just folklore tales? Or,
Or
specifically about the Wanderer? Or?
Wanderer copycats.
Sure.
Yeah, no. 4.
Okay. And the second one?
Roll different dice because that was fucking garbage. No, that doesn't count. Alright, roll 1s. That was better. That was a 15.
Yeah, it was.
15 for the second one.
Sure. I'll say your first roll for the Wanderer and any Wanderer copycats doesn't really seem to bring up anything new. There doesn't appear to be any record of any copycats of the Wanderer of any kind. Though you do read a more refined take on the tale that you'd already been told by the bard.
Yeah.
Your second one was to look for Corsics.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the information is repeated back to you from it's repeated back to you for what you already have learned, kind of from Iglisa. Essentially what will happen with a Corsi is that let me just see what I can do here. You rolled a 15.
Or 15. Kruger, I'm a
Excellent.
smart boy. This is probably the most Kruger has studied in years.
It's just so cool, dude.
Yeah, that's the only reason he's studying it. It's cool. I want to learn about anatomy and history and geography and bullshit, but swords and shit like that. That's rad.
So you learn that a Corsig is an instrument that is typically known to create kings. So it's sometimes called a kingmaker, but it is directly referred to as the Yon's Hold. That's the translation of it. It's usually a weapon that is handed to warriors of the Yon and imbued with innate magic of Grothkin. And from when they had hailed from their original creation by Aiton and Kiel. It is typically thought that in order to wield a Corsig, it must be activated by a specific individual, and it can't be activated afterwards by another individual. So it can only ever belong to that one person in the form that it exists in. It's possible to reform and to meld and to reassign a Corsig once that individual dies or once they pass it on to somebody else as a new warrior of the Yon. Generally they're specifically chosen by the Yon to wield these Corsigs, and they're generally successful in proving themselves in various different conclaves within Grothkin clans. And the book goes on to speak a little bit more about how these particular Corsigs can sometimes assign themselves. Generally, they conform to fit the needs of the wielder, and if they are not chosen specifically by the Corsig, which is kind of like a little bit, there's a bit of muddiness to the clarity of whether or not these Corsigs are thought of as sentient. Doesn't appear to be translated very well from Grothkin lore, or Grothkin from Giant to Common. Generally it speaks of most Corsigs being willingly given by the body of an ancient to a protege. And it's generally thought that they can only be activated with true potential and heart of a Yon's warrior. You do also, with a 15, note that sometimes if the body is found, or the body or the soul is not found worthy of wielding a Korsig, generally it can corrupt the individual because they can't hold the power of the Yon. And then from that point on, they are hunted, usually, by an individual known as the Omen Killer, who typically destroys corrupted spirits, not just those who have been corrupted by Korsigs, but beasts that have been corrupted as well by ancient or malevolent forces. I'd say it's probably what you get with a 15.
Cool. A bit more detail. Okay, interesting. So once the power is activated, it stays in that form unless it's reforged or remade. But okay. Sentience? Question mark?
Scary.
Very scary.
Mm.
After reading, I think that paragraph, like, I think Kruger will just kind of like look and just like with no like when no one's like around, he'll just be like, "Oh my god."
You're being watched very closely by the attendant.
Oh.
He's kind of, just standing there. He's not necessarily hovering. He's just kind of standing behind you and like looks to be reading over your shoulder.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah, it looks like a cool book.
I mean, it talks about like weapons, like, proving them, like kind of like choosing their owner if like, and you have to be like have the heart of like a warrior of the Yon and stuff. It's cool.
Sounds pretty cool.
And when I'll wait for a moment where he's just kind of like looking away, and I'll quickly whisper to the sword and be like, "Hey, do you talk?"
Roll an Arcana check.
Oh yeah, Arcana check. Yeah, right. 16.
You begin to speak to the sword. You wait for a second. Nothing seems to happen. You're just speaking to your sword, and the attendant kind of. You say something?
Nah. No.
Okay. It kind of goes back to looking around. Gilbert, did you want to research anything else?
I would love to look up
Roll an investigation
the
check.
Zig herd.
The Zigha. The Zig who?
Zigrot.
The Zigha?
I mean, when the Zig is heard. Are you kidding?
The Zig is not heard.
The Zig is not heard. That'll be a 6 for the Zig herd. I'm assuming the Zig was not heard.
A 6? No. You generally know that the Zig herd, you'd have to kind of look through several different
Libraries.
You'd probably have to look through several different books.
Oh, okay.
I would say that the most you get is that they are a champion whose notable moment that is written throughout history is that they tore the waking nightmare asunder.
That's something.
And that's another thread for you to follow down at a later date.
Do we want to look up like more on the Zushchan tubes, or we kind of really know everything about it, don't we?
Do you think that is in the not restricted area? I feel like that's kind of restricted information.
Did you say tore them asunder?
Yeah.
I love
Tore
that
asunder
word.
the waking nightmare.
God damn it, Jade.
Good word.
You couldn't have got back to.
I forget how. You guys have probably been about a little bit less than a week, right?
Since Tolan.
Yeah. I think it was only 4 days.
I think we're on the 7th day now, yeah. Because it took us, 4 or 5 days through the rest of the Crimalt from Tolan. And then we've spent a day here.
Yep.
So it's probably, maybe 5 days.
Sure.
I don't know, 5, 6 days.
Yeah, so you still got a little bit of time to wait until she gets back.
We'll definitely have to wait because we have restrictions.
You might have more to research then, who knows?
Yes.
I think actually once I'm like, once A9's just like scrolling through whatever he's scrolling through, he'll be like looking to their bag of holding and be like, How does A9 talk? Fucking is he?
I'm British.
He's British now.
Is he?
I have no idea.
He was
Like
at the
vaguely.
start.
Vaguely.
He's more of like an astute British than a little boy British, which is what
An
you're
astute
doing.
British. Okay.
Astute
By chance.
Little boy British.
Like C3PO.
Newspaper.
Please, sir, may I have another?
No,
Desperately
don't
wanted.
talk like that. I'm going to talk
I
like
need
that.
Please, sir, I'm starving.
Astute British. Astute British. Excuse me, sir. Would you by chance have any information on artifacts or relics known as Zushta?
I might, but I don't think I can give it to you.
I'm a studier in all things arcane and whatnot, and I've heard
Cool.
stories of them, and I would like to know more if possible.
Well, you're just gonna have to wait for approval to do that.
I guess that's fair enough then. And then-
Yep, my apologies, but I've got a protocol to follow and all that, so, you know, can't just be handing out secrets and stuff. That'd be pretty messed up.
Must be some pretty dark and terrible secrets.
Oh yeah, there's some pretty fucked up information out there.
Oh.
Would this guy perchance happen to know who Busby is?
You could ask.
Busby was a dwarf, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Do you know this dwarf named Busby?
Does he?
Are you asking?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you know
Oh.
Busby?
Let's see. I can't say I do, no.
Aw, shame.
Should I?
No, not in particular. Just someone you may have known. That's cool though.
You're just very familiar.
Well, I have that kind of face, you know.
Yeah.
Lots of people say they know me, but yeah.
It's a compliment, by the way. He's a nice guy.
Oh, well, thank you. I'd like to hope I'm a nice guy too.
Ask his name.
So far. What? What's your name?
After all
I'm
this,
assuming Krugar whispered to Dummit.
Ask his name.
Bugsy the second.
But I have no correlation with the first.
This Busby lacks large scar.
This is true.
My name's Joris.
Joris.
Well, Doris, it was a pleasure to walk around with this library with you.
Yeah, thanks for all the help and all the research. There's a lot of books.
Oh yeah, well I get paid to do it, so not too big a deal.
Books hurt. Books hurt a lot.
Oh, you mean like if you get hit with one, or what you mean?
I mean, yeah, but they hurt.
Could I like
they
knock on Krugar's head and go,
There's not a lot up there. It's okay.
I kind of like go to Dilbert and just be like, "There's nothing in there either." I do the echo.
Dummit goes,
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
like not understanding
well,
your bit at all.
Should we pick them up again?
Well, actually, I was gonna pull you across to the side later, so
Oh.
let's ignore them for now.
I imagine this tiner Abelard still knows deep in books. Abelard still knows deep in books. He's missed this.
Stop making out with the books, Avalon.
You
You're not gonna
fucking
get
nerd.
very far.
Nah.
Good
Good boy, Abelard. What's
Doing
that?
his job.
Alright.
That's some researching.
Yeah.
Job. Anything else anybody wants to research, or you're all good to go?
For now.
For now.
No. Not for now.
What time would it be when we?
I'd say it's taking a couple of hours.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
you're probably
Like
closer
late.
to 9,
Nah,
10.
cool.
It is.
Noisy.
Bedtime!
Bedtime.
We gotta return. We gotta return that pass in the morning.
Yeah, we will. And we'll try and figure out how to get to.
Oh yeah, did you find anything useful on the overhead?
There's temples in jungles.
We're not.
Jumbles
We're
and bumbles.
we're in a mountain, not a
Yeah.
not a jungle.
Yeah, so
Jumbles
that's
and
as much
jungles.
as I found.
Oh no.
I'm sorry for being sassy. I'm very tired.
Yeah, that's okay. Just go. Let's go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where are you guys headed?
Where we stay.
Back to the half pile.
Hopefully my discount still holds up.
Should, right?
I mean, I guess we'll find out. By the way, only one more night there, right? That's expensive.
Okay. Yeah. It's just
Right.
because we're here and it's late, it'll be hard to.
Okay.
I think we only have one more night there. We should make optimal use of the bathtub.
Kruger.
5 dwarves in a bar.
I'm going straight to bed. I'll have a
It's
bath
the
in the
end.
morning.
You got to allow the bit for the end of the session.
Is Abelard with us, or is Abelard still alive?
Everyone is still reading. Everyone
Hey,
did not
bye,
leave the
Abelard.
Hey,
library.
hang on.
Oh.
I'll let Abelard know. I'll quickly duck in and let Abelard know where
How
we're
tall are
staying in
you?
the old place.
6 foot 4.
Okay, I won't pick you up.
Abelard can find his
Through the
way
ceiling.
to the thing.
Abelard is not
Abelard can find
Dilbert
his
or
way.
Kruger.
What was the place we stayed at
Half
again?
Pyre.
The half. Abelard, we're staying at the Half Pyre if you need us, okay? Don't be up too late.
Or you can.
I'm talking to
find
you, Moon Man.
It's like his eyes like tear up.
Oh!
Is that an insult? Is that an insult?
Sure,
to
it is
find
now.
him?
Kruger is a bit snappy and just a bit very, very tired, so he's just like.
A slur.
Moon Man
Kruger
is just
doesn't know that that's a
Kruger's
slur.
mad
like
because I
a
picked him
hard
up.
slur.
Kruger doesn't know that
Kruger's
that's
just a little snappy, so you
Everyone's eyes like pop up above it. And like these little goggles just like stares and just kind of thumbs up of the book.
You did not just.
Okay, I'll see you later.
As we walk along,
Mhm.
I can't take the police here too seriously, guys, and I think it's bad. But they're all every time they come up to us, we're like, they're mostly dwarves, right?
Not all of them.
Oh, really? Never mind.
No, but all of the ones that you've spoken to
That
are
you've
dwarves.
seen so far have been.
They're just so short.
You can't take short people seriously.
I mean, you should understand that most of
What
all.
are you saying about short people?
Yeah,
huh?
I go up to Dilbert and Val. I'm just like,
I just don't take
Yo.
Dilbert seriously.
As they say, and I'm like, hello?
I'm the shortest
Someone?
guy here. I'll fuck you up.
I swear I could hear something.
Dilbert,
There's no one
don't
around.
No, no, no.
Gilbert starts breakdancing.
Whips out the rave.
I whip out the rave stick and start jumping around.
Okay.
Can I do like a one-handed handstand?
Roll
I never-
roll an acrobatics check for
Actually,
me.
no, you
I have +7 to
Yeah,
acrobatics.
this one's alright.
No, I got a nat
Can he fall on his right?
As
Do I
you're-
break my nose?
As you're trying to be really, really fucking cool and try and do something that you think will impress everyone, you have seen this done once before by several people that you crossed at different festivals and things.
Probably done
And
it
you
before, too.
begin to flip yourself forward to go onto your hand, and you try and catch yourself onto one hand, thinking that you look really cool as you kind of put your legs out to the side to support your weight. And you feel something.
Oh!
wrist.
Do I break my wrist?
You don't break it, but you feel something twinge and snap. And you begin to plummet to the ground, and I'll say,
Can I perform a dexterity check to try and catch him a bit?
I don't know why.
He's
would you
already-
want
he's
to?
already
I'm
gone.
on
Probably
the
not,
ground.
no.
I crit failed.
that's the only reason why you couldn't, because it was a net one.
That's so
You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you smack your head into the stone.
I'm just on the ground. I didn't even
Your
try
pride
and
is
get back up.
wounded.
I didn't even try and get back up.
I'll wrap
How
you in
long
a little cloak.
How long does it
Pick
take
you up.
third spells to...
Like,
Instant.
cradled
Long
it.
rest.
There.
So you, like,
Oh, my
lay
sweet
down.
child.
You were about to go rest, by the way.
You
So
were
you
about to
can
go.
use a spell if you want.
You can use
I'm
one.
gonna use Cure Wounds. I'm
Aw.
gonna save Dilbert,
Yay.
guys.
My pride is more wounded than I am.
Dilbert, Dilbert.
That's not... No, that's not... Wait,
Prove,
do I
prove,
roll
hit
it?
me.
You can roll it or you can click the button.
I
It's a
don't
D8
think I
plus
can,
five.
man.
Dilbert, you're a big lad. Just one punch. I'll be fine.
Did my new claws go
D8
up and
is
scratch
like-
my own face while I did it?
Yeah. Roll that.
Sure.
Is that
If
when?
that is-
4 plus 5, isn't
You
it?
got 9 back.
I'm,
So you're fine.
I'm fine. I wake up and I'm physically I'm okay, but I'm just
Mentally, I'm
ashamed.
wounded.
Dilbert. Oh, you're a big guy. I'm sorry.
Oh, big man, big
I
man.
hold my hands out. Take a swing.
I just pity punch
Dude, like
hands.
Dilbert, do you want to be carried back or are you okay?
No, I didn't want.
But do you want to be carried?
No, that'd be worse. That's
Dilbert, just take a swing,
patronizing.
buddy.
I just
Come on,
do
buddy.
one kind of.
You got new weapons. You can do better than that. I'll be fine, buddy. Just take a swing.
Do you want me to actually punch you?
Can we
Take a
do it?
swing,
Wait,
please.
wait,
No,
wait, wait, wait,
I
wait,
don't
hang on.
want to.
Let's-
This is gonna go badly.
Maybe if you want to punch
No,
him,
Just take a swing.
I'm not
Do it.
going to. I'm not
do it when we
going
get to our room, maybe.
Can
When
I
we're
roll
not-
a persuasion check?
No, Dilbert does not. Is not in the mood
I'm
to
gonna
punch.
say
I'm
Dilbert's
gonna
not
put
in
my
the mood.
hand on Dilbert's head, and we're gonna like wander off.
Oh my god, I forgot. What?
Right, it might still happen.
Okay. We'll head to where we stayed.
Half-fire.
We'll head to the
I'm so
half. Thank you very
scared.
much. We'll head to the half
It'll be
fire
funny.
again.
I will say for the sake of time, you guys get there. He wades in. Hey, come in. I got something for you.
Is that what this dude sounded
You
like?
sounded like that before.
Yeah.
I love him.
How much
Do you need it?
gold for the night was it? Like 4 gold for the discount?
Yeah, depending on how many rooms
Yeah,
you're
we've
getting
got
it.
2 rooms.
So bad.
So it was
So
8 gold in total.
I don't even know
And
why
then
he wanted
it
to
was-
punch me.
So wasn't it 4 gold per room, and then there was a discount to 2 gold per room? And then
yes, that's
okay,
right.
so
Yeah.
That's what's
Yeah.
for. Yeah, I'll cover it. I got you.
Hey, I got a couple more rooms if you're looking for some more, but it'll cost you.
I'll flash the signet ring again. I'm like, remember? Oh, yeah, obviously you remember us, and then I'll put
we're
the.
fine with
I'll-
just the 2 rooms.
yeah. Thank you, and I'll put 4 gold on the table on the counter.
Yeah, no big deal.
And you kind of passes it through.
Yeah, cheers, bro.
That was deep.
Hey, I'm walking here. Get the fuck out.
Krugar's gonna plunk straight to bed because this is like still the same day that he fought you, Greaser. So he's at
It's been a big day.
and the holy like the fire thing. So
Dilbert's had a fucking trip.
I don't know about you guys, but I kind of had a scuffle with
June's
maybe
like
a
on
demigod,
death's
so I'm going to bed. Good
I'll
night.
follow.
You've been just like going. You guys have been going to all of these places, and June's just like got blood smeared on
Are you
just
still in my place?
Awesome. That's awesome.
full like.
No, it's okay. That's okay. They're gonna get their hit points back when they rest.
Yeah.
That's
But
so
I can
funny.
do cure
It's
wounds.
okay, we're just
You've
gonna
just
sleep
been
now.
walking around
but
like
they'll
with
get
pink.
health back to full.
Let's just say that when you met,
You could have healed your cousin.
June was like fucked up.
like black eye,
Yeah.
broken
Like,
arm,
What the
blood,
fuck?
limping.
Thick lips. Like,
blood still streaming from the ears.
Burn marks everywhere.
Do like a nose wipe, but
Severely
it's all blood.
fucked.
Dilbert, take a swig.
I don't know, man. I'm not really. I don't really feel like. I don't really feel like messing around right now. Like, it's not really. I kind of embarrassed myself over there.
It'll be fine, buddy. It'll be fine.
Like, I don't know. You look kind of.
June looks pretty
fucked up.
pathetic, yeah.
Like, you look really fucked. I don't know if I should be punching you at all. Like, I think that'd be really dangerous.
You're doing this in the hearth pie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
doing
assuming. I'm assuming it's pretty busy with customers.
I mean, it's, yeah.
This is just general conversation. I'm just
Sure.
like, it's like a.
I don't think
like
it's
a,
general conversation.
like an
when it looks
adult.
like
That's true. It's like an adult
adult
trying to comfort
conversation,
a child that's like embarrassed themselves, and I'm like kind of like, ah man,
Sure.
not really the moment or the time.
that. Okay, good.
Alright.
I'm so tempted to just like.
No.
with the new claws, just.
You just gouged June's eye out. Fuck!
I didn't mean to do that.
I will say that you guys find your rest relatively easily.
Wait, hang on. Actually, do we need another room? Because we have.
No, I'll sleep standing. It's fine.
That's
Just in the
not-
corner.
Cousins stay together.
together. Strong.
Okay, cousins together.
We can
Head
talk
to toe.
Share a bed.
Oh yeah. The short king's in the one room.
I don't like that.
No, put. Oh no.
No,
Yeah.
you two get one bed
Short
and you
king's
can
in
sleep
A9 because
from...
A9 doesn't need to. What the fuck?
Oh.
What happened?
All the short kings get one bed and we sleep on the horizontal.
Yeah.
I just stacked.
And then A9 can be like, kind of like near the door because just like zoom because they don't need to sleep.
No, he can do the Baymax thing.
The Baymax.
The Baymax thing. Canonically, A9 can fold down into a tiny box.
No.
A9 is not a transformer.
Sorry, this is all the pent up. This is all the pent up.
Okay,
Let me end.
we're all in bed.
You guys go to rest for the night, and after that, so that's where we're going to end our session. Thank you all very, very much for sticking with us. I know this was a little bit of a later one. Did you guys have fun?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Glad to hear it. We hope that you guys did as well, for everyone who is watching. Just a reminder that I will not be here next week, unfortunately, but you guys get Lockie as a DM. He's going to be running an awesome one-shot, so please look forward to that.
Watch out.
Please tune in. Also, the week after, we will be going on a break, so we won't have any streams to do that week, but we will return with a vengeance to pick up where we left off. I assume you guys will be going to the overhang and then out into the world for once.
We're gonna go to the overhang.
And we also have Ash joining us, I'm assuming, for the next one, if she can be here.
Potentially.
Look forward to.
If you wanna.
If there's a seat.
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
depends on whether we build the table.
We're planning on it,
Yeah.
I think. But anyway,
Figure it out.
we will see you guys in the next one. It's always a pleasure and never a chore to DM for you all.
Always a pleasure, never a door.
No,
Always a
we're not
pleasure.
starting that again.
Always a pleasure, never a
chore.
chore.
Never
Thank
a
you
chore.
all very much for joining us. Much love to you all, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye for now.